Well, good morning. I'm really frustrated. I just get notified that Windows is shutting down and I was going to read something on the other computer. This is my laptop that I record on, and I was going to read something on my desktop, and Windows is now shutting down. And the thing that I was going to read, I can't find it on this computer, on the laptop. Uh, and, you know, and it's time to start. What am I going to do? So anyway, all experience is meaningful is the title of this. Isn't that a joke when I'm telling you I'm complaining about my computers not cooperating with me? Windows is doing an update, but it's been trying to do an update for over a week. And every time it does it, it has to revert back to the previous one because it doesn't allow it to complete its process. And I don't know. I'm so tired of Windows, but I'm not going to change to Mac or the other thing because I'm familiar with it, and I'd rather work with what I'm familiar with, like a lot of people, than what I'm not familiar with. Anyway, all experience is meaningful. Today is one of those days when I'm not sure where to put my focus for my daily video. Frankly, my mind is in review again as I think back to where I've been and wonder where I'm going. Of course, really spiritual people will not have a clue what I'm talking about, since they always manage to live in the moment, the now. I'm just not that spiritual. To me, reflecting on my past experiences has meaning for me today just as much as contemplating my future does. I can use my now to either reflect or project and see how each feels in the moment, the present, as I unwrap it. I can choose to frame past events as failures or as lessons. Some I might even label as success. The spin really doesn't matter, though, since I am more and more convinced that all experience is meaningful, regardless of how I judge it. Oh boy. The thing that I was going to read, which I actually remembered after after I had written the title and the blurb for this, which was only about a half an hour ago, and I remembered, oh yeah, there was that thing by Katherine May, who channels heaven and channels a lot of entities. She's a psychologist from New York City who's been doing channeling for a long time. And she announced yesterday or recently that she is not going to channel anymore. And was trying to find that article that I was going to read. My computer's in the other computer that it was on. Now it's completely turned off. It's done the updates. It's going to go through the thing. But anyway, she's pissed off at being lied to, because she's been trying to channel for a long time with integrity of what the messages she's getting from the higher realm, who keep saying soon, and they have no clue what soon means to humans. Of course, that's because higher entities are stupid. I mean, they're supposed to be smart. I'm multitasking here. Whoops. Let me start over again. Typing in my password. All right, it's booting. Anyway, it's in the process of going through its gyrations again. She's frustrated. I can relate to that frustration. Blossom, Goodchild, and other channelers must be getting the message that what they're channeling, I mean, I've been reading Sheldon Neidl for 13 years, at least since 2001. He's been saying the same thing for 13 years. Other channels, and he doesn't claim to be a channel. He claims to have direct contact with extraterrestrials. I don't. I've never claimed to channel, although sometimes I do have inspiration. I don't call it channeling, I call it inspiration. But anyway, these channelers have been giving messages over and over and over again, saying that soon we're going to see the change that we're all looking for. And as I've been reflecting, I've looked back at Rusa. And I know that Tim Turner was lied to. He was put in a position where he was told that there was going to be financial backing to restore the republic. That very powerful people from Europe were behind the whole thing. And he was going to bring about these positive changes, and then they set him up, framed him, arrested him. He's in federal penitentiary since September 2012. Rusa died. I know it's still around. It became a prayer meeting. It was taken over by the extreme fundamentalists, as far as I can remember, and I don't know if that's changed or not. Then OPPT came along, and the ambassador, by the way, the ambassador and I had a very long conference call with one of the Swiss Indo people yesterday who will remain anonymous. In any case, he revealed a lot of his insight, which he's done to me in the past, but I haven't shared some of it because I didn't want to. He believes that the cabal creates diversions, and they lead people like Mr. Sino, Mr. Sugi, to believe that they have more ability to accomplish positive tasks than they really do. And they divert the attention and they put the focus somewhere else. And Mr. Sugi, of course, and Swiss Indo gathered people that were influential in the alternative media, like me, to the team of visionaries to create CVAC documents based on the OPPT filings and the vision of Heather Tucci Giraffe. The ambassador said that's all a smokescreen. The whole thing was meaningless. It was a cabal trick all along, just like Rusa was, which I came to that conclusion myself. It's been harder to come to the conclusion about Swiss Indo and the OPPT because I believe in the principles. Actually, I believe in the principles of restoring the republic. The ambassador said in the conversation yesterday that the republic is not going to be restored. That America is going to have to suffer like Russia and China already suffered. It's America's turn to suffer. It's Western Europe's turn to suffer. I don't like hearing that. I don't like hearing that from anybody. I don't want suffering. I want the end of suffering. I was born in suffering, New York. I was born there, and I'm tired of the human race suffering. Katherine May is tired of receiving messages from heaven that don't come to pass when she's told specifically, like Blossom Goodchild was told that October 14th or something, whatever year it was, that there was going to be this great big spaceship that was 2 miles long that was going to appear over the United States, and it didn't happen. Katherine May has been channeling things that are going to happen, and they didn't happen. I was going to read that. This is the kind, failure configuring Windows updates, reverting changes. Do not turn off your computer. It's been doing this for over a week. Every couple of days, it tries again to update the thing, and every time it comes back to the same stupidity. Windows is stupid. I mean, if they've got a problem, fix it. Don't just say there's a problem, fix it. But Katherine May withdrew. You see how scattered I am. And that's probably on purpose, because all experience is meaningful. What's the meaning? That life is chaotic? The meaning is that even when we think we're in control of something, we're not. Before I'm doing this video, I'm arguing with the computer. Will you allow me? Because I'm trying to close all the programs that I have open, and they're taking their time. And Word doesn't want to close properly. And so then it's searching for a solution to the problem, why it's not responding. Meaningful. It's all meaningful. It means I don't have control. I'm saying, will you give me back control of my own computer? I'm yelling at the computer. Will you please give me back control of my own computer, because it's doing its thing and I'm trying to get to start my video at 4:44, and I'm frustrated because I'm not in control. And I want to, that's the message. That's the meaning. Ron, I know the New Age teaching is you create your own reality. You don't believe that, Ron, do you? You don't believe that for a minute, do you? And the truth is, no, I don't. We can create our response to whatever happens, but we don't control what happens. None of us do. We live in a dream world. We live in an illusion. We live, no, not in an illusion. We live in a delusion. The experience, as I've always said, is real. Rebooting my computer. Wait a minute, I typed an extra letter and I just want to... Yeah, I typed it wrong. I'll leave it go. I'll wait. Anyway, we need to come to some kind of realization that we are not in control. At least I do. Maybe you don't. Maybe you still want to play with the delusion that you can control things. I've learned that I can't control things. Not even when I pray and believe with all of my might. How many times in my life have I believed that God told me something, and I went out on a limb only to have the limb cut off and me fall, and it looked like God lied, or my receiver was messed up and I didn't hear properly, because I've wanted to believe good things. I've wanted to believe that life makes a difference. I've wanted to believe that the world is actually heading somewhere that's going to bring us peace and bring us harmony and bring us a loving experience. But my search for love has been fruitless for a long time. Fruitless. All I get is failure. Is there a lesson in it? What's the lesson? All life is meaningful. What's the lesson? My lesson may be, Ron, you're just going to have to take one day at a time and stop worrying about what's happening and surrender. What does that mean? I don't want to surrender. Do you understand? I don't want to surrender. I want to feel like I'm playing a role that has meaning. Not a slave, not a program, not something that somebody else is in control of. You say, but Ron, you're surrendering to God. Well, God has failed me again and again and again. That's my truth. It's my experience. God lies. Or at least, as I receive the words of God, they don't come to pass. Sometimes they do, but lots of times they don't. Oh, I've had mountaintop experiences where I felt really, really connected. They don't last. The longest one was when I was filled with the Holy Spirit back when I was a teenager. For a long time, I can remember just feeling like I was walking with God. And Jesus was right there with me every day. I mean, I experienced it. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. It was probably the longest duration of bliss that I've ever known in my life. And do I remember all of it properly? I don't know, but that's what I remember. That's what I think I experienced as I reflect back. And I've projected a wonderful world where I'm able to share my love with a beautiful lady. And we're able to travel together and to experience life together and nurture and sustain each other and build each other up and cherish and appreciate one another. Is that happening? No. The better world that I've worked for all of my life, has it happened? No. And all life, all experience is meaningful. What meaning am I giving it? I'm frustrated. Can you tell? God help me with the frustration with my computer. all of a sudden taking control and not letting me stop this automatic update. I would have stopped it if I could, because I wanted to read a couple paragraphs from Katherine May's thing. It didn't happen. It's not going to happen. So this is where I am today. This is where I am. And I have another Bible class with the Red Dragon. That usually takes up 5 or 6 hours of my day. Yesterday I spent 6 hours probably on the phone with the ambassador 3 different times, including the 3.5-hour conference call last evening. This is how I spend most of my day. I feel like my life, what is my life? But I still want to serve humanity and serve whatever the divine is in humanity, in creation. I don't want to quit that, because when I quit that, I don't want to live anymore. That's my life. That's why I'm here. It's my purpose. It's what I give meaning to. And I'm not going to quit. But I'm really frustrated because things take too long. And it seems like everything that I put my hand to has not been what I thought it was. It has not been what I thought it was. And I'll just close with this thought. Many of you have told me to stop dealing with the dragon family, that they're leading me down a wrong road. I'm not going to do that. I like the ambassador a lot. Hear me. I like him a lot. It's one of the closest friendships with a male that I've ever had in my life. Okay? And I like his vision. Not 100%, because he still says that the family is going to... They see the world going through suffering that I don't want. They see cataclysm that I don't want. But they offer the only hope that I can see right now, because of the ambassador, because of 555. Okay? That's where I'm going to leave it. That's what I choose to do. Thank you for listening. Namaste.